Boy Dinner Diaries. Hey, what's going on, guys? It is your boy Luke What. Welcome back to another video. Boy Dinner Diaries. Essentially, this subreddit is viral for people posting their delicious photos of food with insane captions. Let's get into it. This first post comes from user Young Manky 1. Cheated on my wife and lost my family. Dang, that sucks. And then we got a photo of a delicious salad bowl looking thing. Here we go. Cheated on my wife last week at a massage parlor. Came clean Sunday night. She left this morning with the kids. Wow. I start therapy Friday and group next week. I knew I had a problem for a long time, but I thought I could control it. But I was just lying to myself. I obviously want reconciliation with my wife, but she hates me so much right now, and she says it isn't happening. You read stories like this on here and feel bad for the loser who fucked up his life. Now that loser is me. Don't be me. Ooh, okay. So you went to a massage parlor, so I assume you got a happy ending. It's a typical thing for people who are S3X addicts to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to a massage when you secretly want the whole package. I feel for you, man. It sucks. I guess the question I have for you is, do you still love her? Or were you going into it knowing you were gonna cheat? Like that, there's a lot of questions here. First comment comes from user Eladrian. I feel bad you blow up your life for so little. I wouldn't even get out of bed for a rub and tug. Exactly. For one happy ending rub and tug, your marriage and relationship with your kids has been stained. Sucks. Lazy Illustrator 6946 responds, bro, at the massage parlor? Come on. I mean, that is my exact reaction. Like, the massage parlor does not warrant this type of behavior. Fit Statistician 4882 responds, as if cheating somewhere else would be any better. I mean, I don't know if it'll be any better, but it's like you threw away so much, you might as well go gung-ho, you know what I'm saying? Ratboy Wonder responds to Fistatician saying it wouldn't have been better, but it certainly would have been less trashy and embarrassing for everyone involved. LOL. It's just like super embarrassing. I don't know. I feel bad for I really feel bad for LP. I really do. Cheating is one of those crazy things where it's like, I understand why people cheat, but it's like, you are throwing away your relationship because you're either unhappy with the relationship or you are craving lust from someone else. And for that split second moment, instead of talking to your partner and communicating, you decide to do the bad thing. And it feels good, but right after you get hit with that clarity, and you're like, oh shoot, now I have to tell my partner. It's brutal. Whiskey Tango Foxy sums it up perfectly. Men, let's all start to normalize therapy before you feel like you need to cheat on your partner. I doubt this whole visit wasn't planned from the beginning. Exactly. I highly doubt you went to the massage being like, oh, I'm just going to get a massage. I guess I could do a happy ending. I could see that happening too, but no, you definitely, in the back of your mind, wanted them to offer. Finding OK 50 says, you said you knew you had a problem. Is this a recurring incident? OP responds, it happened before we got married. She was my first long-term relationship. I grew up pretty repressed in this area. Corn has been a problem for a while. So before you got married, you were in a long-term relationship with her and you had an incident when it came to infidelity. That's probably why she left. She was like, yo, I gave this guy a chance all those years ago and he's gotten better. But in the back of her head, she was like, if it happens again, like, I'm out. And then it happened again. Or she was just upset with the cheating, which is fine. Vegetable Title 5889 responds to OP. She still gave you a second chance and married you, and you still didn't seek help and implement long-term change back then. I hope you learn from this time at least. You know what's crazy? You could have watched Corn. I don't know if your wife has a problem with Corn, but like, I don't know. I've never been a fan of relationships where either partner is like, you can't watch Corn. Like, I just don't agree with that. I understand not wanting to do OnlyFans because that's way more intimate, but Corn is such a broad thing. You know what I mean? I can see why the wife would be upset at the Corn, but it's also like, think about it like this. Like, if your intentions was to cheat while getting the massage, if you watch Corn at home instead of going to get the massage, you definitely would not have went to the massage. That's a guarantee. Because then you would have did the business and you're like, oh wow, yep, and I didn't cheat. Cautious Sleep 4708 responds, damn G, I don't even know what to say, but definitely give her some space. You effed up, my boy. Doomed by BMTH responds, don't give her space, leave her alone for good. She's never going to want you again. Don't even think about there's a chance of getting back together. You destroyed your own marriage. You're not the victim. All right, well, that's a little brutal. I understand that he destroyed the marriage, but also, yes, give her space, you know. I think if you want any chance of a relationship being fixed, you need space. That is my number one advice. The worst thing you could try to do is when you mess up or whatever, you instantly try to talk or communicate or no, like give it space. Give it space and assume the worst. That's my advice. Dang, that was a good post. Shout out to Young Minky. This next post comes from wild underscore rap 9360. I am autistic and asexual, and I found my best friend and love of my life. And we have a photo of some sort of meal. I actually can't even identify. I know that's asparagus, but is that dumplings? Oh, he wrote it out here. Okay. Dinner: vegan dumplings, vegan cheesy rice, asparagus. I've spent pretty much my entire life alone. My family was abusive. I experienced abuse from peers and teachers. I've never had friends who made time for me. I've always been, at best, an afterthought. It's caused crippling, deeply painful aloneness that is hard to describe for people who haven't also experienced it. Therapy has never made me feel better or given me the tools to build a self concept because I've never had anyone in my life affirm my identity or the way I perceive or experience the world. So I've spent my entire life derealizing and feeling like I don't exist. I've had many partners before, but they never started as friendships. Oh, that's interesting. I think starting as friendships is the only way, but I digress. I've always pursued people based on looks and because I wanted to date them until I met my partner. We were friends for a year, then we became good friends for a few months. At no point did I ever think about her romantically. In July, we did shrooms together, and I guess that made us both realize we get to really be our true, authentic selves around each other. A week later, she told me she had feelings for me. After a night of thinking on it and another talk about what her intentions were, I agreed to give it a shot, and it quickly blossomed into something much more than that. I'm very confident in saying that she will be the love of my life. She's everything I've ever wanted and needed out of a person, and from what she says, I am to her as well. I couldn't imagine a more perfect person. I don't think I've ever loved anyone the way I love her, and she tells me the same. I feel like I have the energy to give my life purpose for once in my life. I'm not chasing anything, I'm just happy to exist. I'm happy to be sober. I'm happy to share myself with her. Despite the state of America right now, there's a big slice of my life that feels safe. That is beautiful, my guy. So that's awesome. I noticed you said you've never dated people who you were friends with first, but I think friends first is the way. And clearly you probably think that too, since the love of your life was friends first. I could make a whole rant on why friends first is better. I just think it's so much easier. You already know each other so well, or at least to some degree if you're friends. Then you just admit that you have feelings for each other and you just ramp it up. Like there's no awkward stage because you already know each other really well. It's beautiful. The transition is so smooth. Logical Cucumber 5466 comments, how did you know you were asexual and how does that affect your interest and participation in romantic relationships? Asking because my tween-age son, who is highly functional / highly intelligent, diagnosed autistic, tells me he doesn't think he is interested in boys or girls romantically, and I'm not sure if this is an expression of asexuality or something else. He told me that he thought a part of himself was broken, which kind of broke my heart to think that he thinks anything about himself is broken. I try not to ask him about crushes, etc., because I don't want to put pressure on him. We've discussed whether he would want a family when he is older, and he says he would like to adopt children. Also, he's blessed / cursed with being objectively physically beautiful, and has had a number of his classmates and friends, male and female, confess their romantic feelings for him, which he has to date. Which he politely declined to reciprocate. Okay, so your son is like a prodigy, it seems like. Male and female classmates? Holy smokes. Let's continue. I've been very proud with how he handles these situations, and honestly. But of course, as a parent, I hope he finds someone he can share his life with and make him feel loved the way you describe. What would your advice be for a parent of such an individual? Wild_rap9360 OP responds, I questioned if I was asexual when I started to realize sex has always made me uncomfortable regardless of who it was with, and only really considered it as a possibility when I was 19. If I feel like my partner needs sex from me, I completely shut it down in the relationship. I'm not entirely opposed to sex, and I do enjoy it, but it can't be a necessity and I never want it all the time. He could be aromantic and asexual, it sounds like. As long as he doesn't compromise on his needs, he has a fulfilling life. Relationships look different for everyone. I actually kind of want to try to give advice to this commenter. I'm not sure if he's going to watch this video, but I feel like when it comes to your son, you say that he is highly intelligent and autistic and doesn't think he is interested in boys or girls romantically. He could be asexual, but I think you just also have to take his word that he is probably asexual, but also let him grow up and see how he navigates. If he's asexual and aromantic, that's fair. That is something that people are. But it will be, I guess, harder to really realize that until you're an old enough age. Like if he's like 18 plus still like I've never had an interest in anyone, then yeah, he's probably asexual aromantic. Wreck the butthole 420 response to OP. Brother, I have no clue what it's like to walk that path or live in your world. All the same, I'm thrilled that you found some peace in this chaotic world. Beautiful. Because you have to think about it. Asexual and aromantic people logistically have it harder to date because they have like specific needs that are not deemed as the default. So that's going to be harder to find a companion. So I love the fact that OP found someone. Okay, this next post comes from user Delta Virigine. User Delta Virigine. Okay. I'm so smitten by my girlfriend. Pumpkin soup. And I'm going to show a quick photo of that pumpkin soup. That looks very tasty. I'm not going to lie. But I think I see a little alcohol drink right there on the side. A little scandalous. I love to see it. I thought that early relationship glow would kind of fade over time. But it didn't. We met up for the first time 8 months ago, and I really thought it would just be a cool winter fling. She doesn't really have any space in our relationship structure, and I didn't want to do another long distance relationship, or so we both thought. We just vibed so incredibly well. I love her autistic special interests. I love that we could just have hours of parallel play and just be very happy about it. I love the way she smells. I love the way she communicates. I love that she is so subby. Well, I don't know what subby means. I love that she lets me take care of her, which is hard for her. And that she takes care of me. I just love her. And apparently she very much loves me back. Her, oh, I kind of never say I love you, and I'm not very romantic, didn't really hold for any significant amount of time. She tends to be very confused, and she occasionally will just fall asleep while cuddling me, which she said she almost never did before. That is a sign of love right there, if she falls asleep quick while cuddling. Or just extreme passion. She had an extremely cute, oh shit, I've gotten so used to texting and / or calling you moment when I went hiking somewhere without internet for a day. Last weekend, we spent some time with one of her friends and her husband. Wait. Whoa. Brother, you gotta preface. That this is poly. I didn't know this is poly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just didn't know. It caught me off guard. Let's read that again. Last weekend, we spent some time with some of her friends and her husband. In brackets, yeah, poly relationship if it wasn't obvious. It wasn't obvious. What the fuck is obvious about that? I thought this is... Alright. Again, nothing wrong with poly. Just prefacing. And it was just very nice and wholesome to be integrated further into her day-by-day life. I really enjoyed the vibes too much to plan far into the future by now, but I just want to move somewhere else for a couple of years, and I think this somewhere else just might be closer to her. And I guess you got to be friends with the husband. Dude, that poly thing really caught me off guard. Of course, nothing wrong with that, but wow. Dude, okay, so at C6685... comments, I'm confused. Do you have to be in a relationship with the husband too for it to be poly? Like, is it a throuple? No judgment whatsoever, just confused, LMAO. Blatant Donut, also confused, comments. Me too, I'm also confused. Winter_equal_842 responds to these two saying, honestly, no offense to OP, he does what he does, but for me it was wholesome until that part. Literally, y'all saw it in the video, bro. I was so on board until that part, and I was like, I'm still on board, but it's like, what? Like, you have to preface with the poly, my guy. You said as if it was obvious. Nothing about that was obvious. At C6685 responds, I definitely was like, husband, what? But then I read poly, so, you know, to each their own. Emergency Many 8675 response to all this saying, I'm confused. Are they all dating like a love rectangle or what? Not even a love triangle, a love rectangle. Oh, he's dating a married couple. I see. I don't know how you guys do it. Sounds very painful for a romantic like me. Yeah, it sounds painful for a romantic like me too. But I guess people do it. OP responds, nah, it just makes the relationship with her easier that we get along quite well. So, him and the husband. And we might dom her together someday in the future, but that's a different kind of debate. Okay, dude. I don't understand, but fair enough. As long as you're happy, man. And we're gonna end it off on that. That was Boy Dinner Diaries, essentially delicious pictures of food with diary excerpts from what's happening in their life with the drama. If you want another video on this subreddit, let me know, and like, comment, sub, all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next video. I try to make a new vid every week.
Peace.